Welcome back, Curriculum Mappers. Richard here with another video on curriculum mapping with G Suite. Today I'm going to share with you my latest project, and that involves more tightly integrating the tech tool inventory into the map. So as you can see on our landing page already, I've added a spot for any custom add-ons that we deploy that are curriculum mapping related. So in this case, I've turned our tech tool inventory into a Google Doc add-on that is available for install within our domain. And I'm going to demonstrate this feature right now, as well as go over the code so that you may eventually deploy a similar add-on in your school as well. So the way this works is we can go into the awesome table containing all of the units, and for example, maybe I'm going to go into an English unit and I'll pick the house on Mango Street. So I can see there's a lot already in this unit planner, some comments and dialogue happening over the side, which is great to see that. And I come down here and I see there's this technology box, and what we've opted to do is we're looking at pulling the tools out of the unit planner per se and focus more on the teaching with the tools as opposed to what the tools are. So I see here mention of Explain Everything, Sticky Board 2, Skitch. So if I'm this teacher and I've installed the add-on, the tech tool inventory, I can go up to my tech tool inventory, click Start. It will then locate the document. See, this is the document ID of this open document. And I can begin attributing technology tools to this. So this was a library that I had just found through a crowdsourced tool. I just dumped it in here for now, but I'll likely curate this a little bit later. So I did see Skitch, I believe, was there. There was mention of Explain Everything, iPads, so on and so forth. So I can make all the selections that are relevant to this unit and then hit Submit, and then I can close the inventory. Now, if I go back to the map and I refresh this, let's now go back to the house on Mango Street. So I'll go back to English, and here it is, the house on Mango Street. Notice how the tech tools, Explain Everything, iPads, and Skitch are now visible to the entire school community. So what this does is not only inform the rest of the school community of what you're using with your students, but it also it's a great way to capture what is being used and think about what may require more PD or what's underutilized, so on and so forth. So this brings the tool that's being used in these units in a much more prominent position to begin a dialogue about how best to teach with it. So what I didn't mention yet is what also is happening in the back end is that these tech tools are also being written to the Google Docs metadata. So if I were to go in and look at the details of the house on Mango Street, I will notice in that metadata field, Explain Everything, comma, iPads, comma, Skitch in the metadata. So it's also being tracked in there as well. So how does this work? Well, the code for the add-on is right here, and I'll eventually share this out there, but I do need to do some explaining about how it actually works. So there's two files. You have your HTML file, which is the sidebar that comes out. And all that this is a simple iframe that's embedded in that HTML document. So think of a simple website, and it becomes dynamic because the URL that populates that iframe is different depending upon the document that is open. So let me say that one more time. The URL for the iframe depends on the open document. So we can actually see that in the code where that's happening. So this function doGet, we notice that the template is created. This URL is the file cabinet view spreadsheet. Okay, right? So this is everyone's familiar with that if you've gone this far through this process. And then we're indicating the exact sheet that we're looking at for the data. So this is the Files tab. So in fact, maybe I'll just go and bring that up to illustrate what we're looking at. Yep, so as I was saying, the URL for the file cabinet view, the files sheet, and then it's identifying a very specific range, okay, and that range is defined right here. So it's one row, one column, and it runs the entire length of the sheet where there is data, okay? Line 52 here tells us to retrieve the document ID of the active document. So this is the key, right? This is the piece that's going to locate the URL in our file cabinet sheet. So once it has this information, we begin a loop, and this for loop is going to go through that range of data until it finds an exact match, and then it's told to stop. So basically, this range N1 is column B. So it starts at 0 for A, 1 is B, and when it finds an exact match, it'll stop, and then it returns the sidebar. So that's how that's happening on the back end in order to locate the right form to, it's just one form, but to pre-fill the document ID with the right data, it's looking for an identical match. So I'll have more on this later. It's a little complicated to explain in this sort of video that just demonstrates things, but I just want to give you a sense of how that operates. And it's super responsive. Teachers feel empowered because they can add tools and immediately they're reflected in the map. They don't have to wait for an overnight refresh for that to happen. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will get started on working on some documentation on how to bring this to all of you. Thanks for watching. Bye.